name is Nick Hamner. I'm the Business Development Manager here at Source One, and this is the first of 3 podcasts dealing with manufacturing. With me today is Nicholas Haneiko, one of Source One's project managers who deals exclusively with the strategic sourcing for manufacturing companies. So Nick, tell me about this hammer.
Sure. Well, Source One was approached by one of the major tool manufacturers within the U.S. To help them identify an alternate manufacturer within North America. They were currently having it manufactured in South Africa. Okay. And due to a lot of lead times and supply issues, they asked us to help them with alternate solutions and identify an alternate manufacturer.
Okay, and so how did that process go? Was it an easy process? Was it a hard process?
Well, first, we had to interview them and discuss their goals and what the requirements were. They decided that they did not want to consider any countries in Asia due to a lot of issues concerning IP issues. Landed cost from Asia would be just as bad as coming from Africa, as well as incredibly long lead times. So they know they wanted to focus away from Asia. So other than that, they weren't really sure where they wanted to look. So we first did a market assessment to help them understand exactly where the best place to look. Then the first major step was getting clear understanding around the product itself, as well as the requirements around it and the overall goals of the client. We interviewed the executives, the engineers, the stakeholders, to get a real good comprehensive understanding of exactly what they want to do. So we performed a complete market assessment, including a SWOT analysis of potential manufacturing regions, including all of North America, Canada, US, Mexico, as well as the top countries in South America. So once we reviewed that market assessment with them, we decided that the best place to start looking would be Mexico.
Okay. And then when you went to Mexico, what were some of the benefits that came from having the hammer manufactured in Mexico?
Well, there was a lot of good benefits. First, in terms of the process, before we could identify the proper partner for our client, we had to get a good understanding of the product itself. They didn't really have any of the good spec sheets available, so they first sent us some samples of the top-selling models. There was about 10 different models, ranging from 2.5-pound heads to 14-pound heads, and then 8 different sizes of the handle. So we did a little reverse engineering to understand how complex the actual tool was. It has a rubber handle, a galvanized rubber handle with steel rods running throughout, going into the solid steel head, and then they molded rubber around those rods and injected it into the head to essentially create a hammer that was indestructible. It's a very complex tool.
But when you said they were trying to get away from Asia because of IP concerns and because of total landed cost, neither of those were issues when looking into Mexico, was it?
Yeah, absolutely. Nowhere near as much as Asia, specifically China. The IP issues are not much of a big deal, and the landed costs were much less. Most items coming through Mexico are sent via truck, whereas obviously with Asia it'd be cargo, and it extends the lead times dramatically. It changes the packaging of the product. Coming overseas, the hammer needed to be there needed to be a special bag over the head to reduce any type of corrosion, as well as protect the head itself and still to make sure it's quality grade.
So at the end of the day, the client loved it?
Absolutely. They were very happy. The identification process was very in-depth and complicated, but they were very happy with the partner that we identified. They went to Mexico to tour the facilities, and that went great. And they worked with the engineers at the facility to redesign, and they were able to save money and get a much cleaner, more awesome hammer. Really. They're very happy, and they continue to work with us and hired us to do another tool set as well.
That's great. And so when you come back, we'll talk about nearshoring and we'll talk about what it took to source each part of the hammer.